All right. We are live. Who would like to recap last session?
Oh, God. So you hear the chattering of Ivar as he talks into his lucky stone. This is Secret Agent Ivar continuing the saga. Where did I leave off? The cavern that Petrie fell into turned out to be larger at the bottom than the hole he fell into. And the bottom was lined with skulls, including a giant skull that apparently there was some sort of rune on, but nothing really came of the rune. Petrie fell and shattered his bone. Tacitus climbed down, but that couldn't be fixed. So he chiseled away at the rock that Petrie had impaled himself onto to try to get him free. Eventually, Petrie had to try to climb up with the busted leg, falling once, but eventually making it back into the hallway we were in. Colmar, of course, went down to investigate the skulls, but didn't really find anything, I guess, of much use. He may have taken a skull or two, probably did. We went into the treasure room and were able to bring down the force shield. But we began looking for a way out, and after searching the walls, I got bored and decided to go look at some armor, which caused the force shield to come back up. And a panel opened in the wall outside the force shield and began to flood the area outside the force shield with poison gas, which was filled with shadows, Netch. And I was trapped inside hearing this pre-recorded message from someone named Zalshox, whom I've never heard of before, accusing me of being greedy when I was looking at armor that wouldn't fit me. So I clearly wasn't planning on stealing that. Colmar blew away all the poison gas because it was apparently flammable. I guess Zalshox wasn't expecting people who've mastered the technology of fire to come in here. Luckily, the explosion killed most of the shadows, and they were able to bring the force shield down again so I could get out. It turns out that the pillar in the middle of the room, protected by the force shield, was not the pillar of teleportation I was hoping for. So was not the way out of this place. The only way we had to go was down the hallway the poison gas came from. Petrie was hobbling along. We went down that corridor and found a giant well, like 60 feet across, that just went down into the darkness. And we then proceeded to discuss whether or not we should rest or just continue on. And if we were going to rest, where we were going to rest. But I'm so weak at this point, I really want to rest. And we're probably running low on supplies. We may have to eat Petrie. It's all going to hell. I will report it later.
Tass is
All right,
just
so
watching.
in that moment where Ivar is talking into whatever it is he talks into, he summed up the situation fairly well. Petrie is kind of using Tacitus's quarterstaff, still leaning his weight upon it. His eyes almost teary with the amount of pain that he is experiencing. Kind of looking to each of you for what comes next and what everybody's gonna do.
Don't look at us, Petrie. We don't know fucking know what we're doing.
So, you guys were debating whether or not to risk taking a rest or not.
Yeah.
And now there's only 3 of us, so we should be able to reach a decision. Unless one of us votes present.
But there's also one less person to keep watch, which means there's a good 2-hour window if you do take a long rest. Where who knows what could happen.
Well, I I prepared the private sanctum in case we had, any need to stay someplace and we're unable to make it back to the mansion for some reason. So figured originally thinking we were going to be in the same country as that tentacle face son of a bitch. That's why it was prepared. So could still be of use here.
And I will remind the group that that these incorporeal undead that we've destroyed may reform and come after us.
Yep. It's quite true.
I mean, I suppose we could press on down the hole and see if there's a place to rest down there.
How are we going to get down?
Well, I can fly as long as Petrie doesn't turn the fire sword on. And you guys can spider climb.
Oh, yeah. Had to take a little bit of damage for that, but... were we able to determine how deep the hole was? I forget. I think we had a rough...
We had a rough estimate that was way off. But it was like a mile.
Somebody threw something explosive down there.
No, I threw the bag of...
Oh, the boulder thingy.
Yeah, the bag of Giant's Wrath down there.
And then we got the estimate of like a mile. So it'll be a long climb. You may have to take... I don't know how long the spider climb will last. You may have to... Uh-oh.
May have to...
I was going to say, you may have to...
I couldn't hear. My headphones keep going in and out.
I was saying that they can spider climb down there, but if it's a mile, I don't know how long spider climb lasts. So you may have to take the damage multiple times. And then I
have an idea as to how long it would take, how long that spell lasts. We have an idea because of how long it lasts.
I assume, you would know, but that's not information. Ivar actually might know it. I just don't know off the top of my head.
It's an hour.
It would have been listed on the hair dye, so it does last an hour.
Yeah, Ivar's proficient in Arcana.
So
I remember there was some talk of me using my wand of web to catch people, but I don't know if that's going to be necessary, except maybe for Petrie, and we're just going to shove him into mallet space.
Oh no. Petrie is not in mallet space. That is one of the challenges that you guys are going to have to figure out, how to help Petrie get down with y'all.
Oh, so we'll just make Martha out carry him. Problem solved. Let's get moving.
Martha has been in mallet space for a while now. I'm not sure if he even knows what's wrong with Petrie.
So we can carry him off sheer ignorance. No problem. Sort of like
Ivar is fully prepared to say, well, Petrie, it was nice knowing you.
I'll shake your hand just because I need you to help me get down there so you can hold on. Right.
I mean, I assume we don't have a mile of rope, so we can't lower him down.
There's no rock. Can I throw a rock at this motherfucker? Time this thing out.
You still have your coins.
Coins. I mean, I could throw. I'm just gonna throw a light down there. I don't even fucking care anymore.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Mark off. I'm losing the copper. Peek. There.
Before you do this, please remember, we're all in our own special way slowed. So whatever's down there that flies up, we can't even run away.
Well, let's back up a tad, and we got a funnel. We're funneled, but they could be funneled too. Let's just see
unless they're incorporeal, in which case, if it's all shadows.
So we just got to make sure they're not smart enough to do that. I don't know. We have to have a better idea. We can't just fucking go down blind. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take a coin, cast light, and toss it down towards the middle. Watch, observe, see if it lights up anything along the way.
Give me an investigation check.
Sure. Investigation. I'm real smart. All right, 17.
All right. So you're kind of counting, but at some point the light just winks out. It just disappears. It gets pretty far down before it completely disappears, but it absolutely disappears. It's like the light just kind of winked out. So even though it's and that was your light spell?
Yep.
Yeah, so even with it being magical light, it just kind of went out. So either something's obscuring it to some degree, or there's something else going on there. But you do notice something.
Could I get a sense of how far down that was exactly?
Hold on.
So new plan. We'll throw Petrie into the hole and listen for how long he screams. Then I will fly down and heal him. He'll have one hit point. Back to unconsciousness.
I have my suspicions. And I don't believe that flying down. Let's give him a second to change his speaker output.
There we go.
All right. I got sick of the... Huh? Shit.
Make sure you can hear us.
I can hear you.
Perfect. We could still hear you.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's going through the same mic, so...
Oh, I didn't see the green going up there. Okay.
Yeah, you're
Never
good.
mind. All right, if it's going through the same mic, I'm just going to take this off then. You still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right, I got sick of that headset just continuing to go in and out.
Yeah.
Where I kept having to reset it, so it's just fuck it. All right. So, yeah.
You're gonna
Tacitus, you're getting some information.
Yeah.
And you were going to try to explain to me what's wrong with my plan of throwing Petrie in the hole and seeing how long he screams?
Well, it's the flying down after him part. That's the problem I see. Because if my suspicions are true, okay. So just to be sure, did I hear a clinking of the coin, or was it too far down to really hear it?
You didn't hear it. It could have been too far down. It could have been that it landed on something rather soft.
Yeah.
It could have been, any number of things.
Okay. And
it could have just been too light.
Yeah. So then I'll just say if it could be magically enchanted to nullify magic, in which case your little flight will cease to work.
I guess that's a good reason to keep the wand ready.
The wand
of web.
Okay. Well, I mean that's still magic, but sure.
But at least I can cast it like right at the level. I suppose you're right. It won't work.
We need to use the rope.
Plus, if it's very, very soft down there, and that's why you couldn't hear the coin, Petrie may survive the fall and just keep screaming, which should give us a false impression of how deep it is anyway.
Well, he won't. He'll cease to. The Doppler effect will cease. We'll get a steady stream of the sound.
Jesus
I'm thinking that might be hard.
Sorry, this is taking for fucking ever. My internet is just like, oh, okay, finally.
I feel like that might be hard to detect. The subtle change in the fact that he's not moving away from us anymore in the middle of a cave.
The further away he's going, the more apparent the effect is.
All right, we're just going to have to test this.
Any objections, Petrie?
We need to find a way to get you down anyway. This is the best I've come up with. Because any rope we use, I mean, first of all, it's not going to be a mile long. And second, we're probably going to have to use it in some way to get Petrie down.
I have an idea. We'll see what my mind is calculating right now, and will let us know here in a moment.
So could you tell from watching it fall how far it fell before it winked out?
I think that might be part of the email.
It's not, but if you want, you can give me another investigation check for that.
But he has keen mind. He can remember in real time the actual distance of the fall.
Yes.
Investigation again?
Yeah.
This time a 15.
Okay. Probably 200-300 feet.
Okay. Yeah, I'll reach down with a dagger and scrape the wall.
Okay.
It might not be a nullifying magic, but a illusory sort, disguising what's actually down there.
Well, that at least would be good. Because I was about to suggest that I fly down there, and then if I stop flying at some point, you'll hear me scream until I hit the bottom.
But then if there's something really bad down there, you'll still scream, and it'll be a false impression.
But then we will have tested your Doppler shift theory.
You're right.
All right, Tony, I sent you.
Okay. Yeah, so I go down and I you see me like take my knife out and like reach over the edge and scrape the wall and look at my knife and touch something that's on it, and I'll turn to you guys and like, well, even our spider climb looks like it might be a difficult climb with this stuff. It's extremely slippery.
Well, we know it's 200 or 300 feet down to the illusion. Do we have 200 or 300 feet of rope?
Well, I didn't delete rope from my inventory, so I might have some.
You still have your rope. Here.
Can't get
I'll even give you access to Martha, Elmorn, and Petrie's. So I'll bring up their characters and see if they have any rope.
We just tie Petrie to the rope, throw him over, and then we reel him back in. And he tells us what he sees.
We're going fishing.
This reminds me of Ghostbusters 2, where they went into the ooze. And they had the rope that pulled each other back.
There's also Poltergeist.
Oh, yeah. There was that one, too.
Except if we lower Petrie, he's probably going to be screaming the whole time because of his leg. Which, as bait, is good. But if we want to like maintain any kind of stealth, may not be so good.
Well, if we tie him to the bottom of it, so he's the
Petrie has no rope.
Yeah. If he's the anchor of the rope.
Did we not all buy climbers kits? Did Petrie not buy a climbers kit?
We can.
If he did, he didn't list it.
So we could tie it like around up here as sort of a harness. That way he still has his hands. He can pull out his sword and he can fight off things that come at him. Right? And then...
Martha has a climber's kit, so I assume he has 50 feet of rope.
All right, new plan. We take his outside.
Elmorn has no rope.
I'm sure.
Oh, boy.
Elmorn has not been around for a while. He was unaware that we were going on this mountain hiking expedition into the ground, apparently. Trying to figure out a way now to use Elmorn's horse as part of our solution. Well, at least like the horse could easily lower us down, presumably slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Like tie a rope around the saddle horn or something.
Well, I mean, I could anchor the rope in the ground, manipulate the ground to wrap the rope. So just kind of like.
Right, I was thinking more about like how do you lower Petrie? Like, do we stay up here and lower him down and then go down? Or you could have like the horse lower him down. If the horse is smart enough to do that.
Where are we getting a horse?
Petrie can, or Elmorn can summon his horse.
Oh, we're just using everybody now.
Right.
He hasn't even been in this hole.
Well, how much rope do you guys have, though?
I've got 50.
I've got 50. That's as much as I remember us having. But Marthal has 50, so that's 150 feet. We're halfway down to the part where where the lights go out, which probably isn't the bottom.
Nope. Probably not. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
All right. Here, I'm gonna cast.
We could always take Zalshok's suggestion and just kill ourselves now and avoid avoid all the torment.
I'm gonna cast a firebolt down there. It's got a range of 120 feet. If it fizzles before that, then we know it's further than that. If it disappears before that, then we'll know it's, but before 120 feet. Should give us a better idea, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And might be able to hear it. If the hole itself is less than 120 feet, we might be able to hear it hit something. Let's do it. Firebolt. Maybe I'll hit a shade down there.
It causes the entire tunnel to light up as it goes down.
Good.
But then it fizzles right at its range.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, it's further than 120 feet, guys.
Have we determined that this is the only way to go?
As far as we could tell.
There didn't appear to be any way back in the bigger cavern that we came from that led to the tunnel there. There's no way that we found in the treasure room out except for this passage. Can't go up. Plus, if we went back and tried to see if we missed anything and eventually found out we were wrong, we'd have to come back here and we'd have given the shadows a lot of time to reform.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah, so how much rope do we have again?
150 feet, I think. Unless Colmar has rope.
Image of what you guys are probably walking into.
What's that?
He's sending us an image. Okay, how about we find a place where we can, like, a defensible position where we can hunker down. And Tacitus recreates from scratch the Featherfall spell.
Yeah, I got nothing of the kind.
What spells do you have?
What spells do I have? I mean, I got a lot of spells, but...
Well, what are memorized right now?
Memorized? Fuck, dude. Come on now. I got a lot of spells. I got 19 memorized. I don't know. Hold on.
How many spell slots does Marthal have left? Because he can cast Fly on a bunch of people. Which would only last 10 minutes, but he could at least get some people to the bottom, maybe.
Yeah, and he can use
the flyer. Or the fucking gimp, I mean.
He can use his action points, too.
Oh, no. You don't get action points if you're not here. And he's got exactly 1/3 level spell slot and nothing else.
Well, that's exactly what he would use it for.
Does he have any sorcery points?
2.
Jesus. What the fuck has he been doing?
Casting spells.
Yeah, it's almost like he's not been taking his rest normally.
Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, as far as my prepared spells, like nothing's gonna get me down there.
Yeah, but think out of the box. Think creatively.
Okay, we'll go back to the big cavern and we'll collect enough rocks and we'll just keep throwing rocks in until the whole thing is filled.
Chisel away all those like fucking rocks. Then we just got to step on them down there. It's no problem. Yeah, I mean, I could try that. It'd be a waste of a 5th level spell if it fucks up, but I mean, it's still not going to get me down there. If I can get closer to the illusion, I can dispel it. But we got to get down there first. I've got a way to mislead things. create like an illusory copy of myself while I'm invisible, and I could just move the thing and see through its eyes and hear through its ears.
Okay.
So I could bring my illusion down there.
Do you?
But it's not going to get us.
So
down.
No, but that is. It would essentially, though, from what I'm understanding, be equivalent to like Arcane Eye of sorts. And that's a 5th level spell, right?
Yeah.
So they're both 5th level spells. So I would say for the price of 2 action points, because you could basically create that illusory version of yourself and have it jump down. And because it's illusory, it wouldn't be impacted by any potential traps or falling or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Quite true.
And that,
Quite true. Yeah.
And because you're using 2 action points, I would also allow you to cast 1 spell as if it was centered, as if you were casting from the illusory self. So if you got down there and felt the need that you might need to cast another spell, you can do it as if it was being cast from your illusory self.
How long would it last?
It lasts an hour. It's concentration. But like, yeah, I don't know. I can. That's one thing. I mean, I can get rid of the illusion. Still have to figure out how to get down there. I mean, I can potentially. Yeah. It ain't easy. I just don't have the arrangement for this part.
So do you think this illusion just blocks all sight and sound, or something else?
I think we heard the sound. I think it just blocks sight. Makes it look. I don't know. It disguises whatever's down there.
Because I mean, if it doesn't disguise sound, you just couldn't hear the your whatever you threw down there hit the bottom.
Well, we heard the boulders hit. So it seems like it's just a visual illusion. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna cast Mislead. My last 5th level spell slot, which means I got no escape if we need to run. All right.
Well, I can fly down there alongside you as long as I don't get into an area of bright light.
Sure.
Although I can't attack while I'm flying because I've got to grip the 2 ends of my cloak.
Well, I can't attack with my illusion, so you'll just be the only one physical. So I might be able to have them distract something that might be down there. I have them try to attack me, but if you like, we can do that.
I mean, I have thunderstones. If you want to throw a thunderstone down there, but it'll let everything down there know something just happened.
Well, I mean, I threw a light down there. That'll be there for an hour. So you might want to be careful. Let me go down first.
and Colmar did throw a boulder or 2.
Yeah, but I assume boulders can just fall naturally. They wouldn't assume somebody's up here who's pitching boulders of that size. That'd be crazy.
They might.
Would it? Of all the things, that would be the crazy thing.
All right. This whole time you thought you were talking to me, but you hear my real voice like from a couple feet away. Well, I'm gonna send the illusion down, and it's just gonna kind of like walk. It's gonna do like a weird thing where it just kind of walks downwards because it's an illusion, though. It's not actually real, so I can make it move however I want. So I'll just make it creepy. Why not?
Okay. Yeah, it's not bound by gravity or anything, so sure. All right. So right as you get to about the 200 feet mark, everything goes black.
Okay.
Through the illusion, you can get, especially because you spent 2 action points, you can get some somatic sensory information through it. So you know that it's still touching with its feet against the wall. And it's still feeling the movement of air and everything. But everything just went black.
Okay. And then I can cast from here. One time.
You can cast 1 spell.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to go dispel, and it's gonna have to be at the base 3rd level. So hopefully that's fucking enough. Spent. Dispel.
Did my will-o-wisps get destroyed?
No, there's still one of them did when they went down there. When you sent them down to try and check things out.
Okay.
But you still have 3 of them. It was originally 4, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Okay. So 3rd level is, and you're casting it as an area effect dispel, correct? Especially since you can't see the source of whatever this is. So you're able to dispel the darkness. You get the sense that the spell is only going to be temporary, because whatever, as you cast a spell, you could feel it kind of pushing against you in a way that only permanent spells do. And so it's being suppressed. It's not actually truly dispelled. But you do have a while for it to be dispelled. And once that happens, this area of darkness is lifted. You only have about 30 more feet down. But what you see is one large kind of stalagmite from the center of the tunnel, and surrounding it completely, well, and next to that, not too far, is a large boulder or 2. I don't know how many Komar threw down. But you see dozens, if not hundreds, of corpses littering the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Stalagmites got Petrie's name written all over.
Each of the corpses seems to have been stripped. Many of them seem to have bite marks, or are just completely bone. Some of them appear to be bone because of natural decay and rot, because they've been there so long. Others appear a bit fresher. And those ones seem to have had strategically chosen strips of flesh ripped off of them. Give me an investigation check.
18.
Okay. Actually, so we'll use it. We'll still use that number, but are you going any closer towards the corpses and the ground?
Yeah. I mean, I can go all the way down there. Ain't gonna hurt me.
All right. So as you do that, and as you examine some of these corpses, you notice that each of them has a very small but very precisely made hole in their head or skull.
Like where? Front, back?
Depends on the individual. Some of them are in the front, some of them are closer to the temple, others in the top.
Doesn't seem very precise.
Well, the precision is in the perfect roundness and shape of the hole, and the fact that it doesn't seem to have been made with any kind of piercing or bludgeoning tool, since that would likely crack the skull as well.
So this guy pulled in power tools from another world. Got drill bits.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Do I see any tunnels out of here?
Yeah, about 30 feet off the ground, from the opposite end of the entrance side of the tunnel that you came from, there is another circular tunnel that leads out.
Okay.
So how far is it to the bottom? It's not a mile.
It's about 230-ish feet. I did randomly get an idea. We'll see if this works.
Did you share the information about the hole with the group?
Yeah, I would probably say out loud what I'm seeing down there.
Oh, great.
All right.
A playground for Colmar.
Oh, yeah.
These aren't the only skulls here.
Yeah, but these are whole
Peter,
bodies.
message coming to you.
Mm.
Did I get a sense as to how long we would have till that illusion came back?
Just a minute.
Sure.
All right, Peter sent. So you're guessing probably an hour. Give me a caster check.
Caster? Or perhaps it's like an arcana.
Caster.
Ooh, there we go. 23.
All right. You can suppress it certainly for an hour, perhaps even up to 2 hours.
Okay.
Good, because we'll probably be discussing how to climb down that far for the next 2 hours or so.
I got it. I'm gonna break my illusion like halfway up. Right about to where the illusion was, where it started. That way we have an idea. That's the goal. We got to get below that and through there before it comes back. We got an hour. Let's see here. Where's it at? Here. Yeah. So perhaps, like in some movies and video games, you have like the stone steps that come out of the spiral wall, like spiral staircase, basically. Perhaps I could use some mold earth, create some of that.
One 5-foot cube at a time.
I'll use the action point to speed it up. I mean, I get a 5 foot cube per action, so I mean that's 60 cubes in a minute.
Yeah, but also repeated casting like that is going to be tiring.
Nuh-uh, it's cantrip. It's nothing.
I do this all day, sucker.
That energy comes from somewhere. Just like it would be tiring for a fighter to literally swing their sword every second of every minute of the whole day.
Not in D&D, it's not.
I can ready an action to fire an arrow on a longbow and just hold it all day.
You can create those steps all the way down as long as you take one permanent disfigurement to your body.
All right. Okay. One eye is blue instead of green. Fine.
Okay. So if you wanted to do that, it would just as is, without any kind of other things. You would take 3 levels of exhaustion by the time you finished. You can reduce that by 1 level for each action point you spend.
Yeah, but you only left me with 2.
I mean, that's a lot of stone you're moving around with.
Yeah, but I'm not doing it. The magic is.
Well, the magic is coming from you, though. You're summoning it with your own energy.
I'm letting it flow through me.
Okay, it still requires effort. It is not an effortless pursuit.
Obviously.
If it was, anybody could do it.
Well,
right?
They kind of could, yeah. Just pick up the major feed. Boom, they got it.
Right. But they need to be human, or at least take 1 level of a class. And in Eberron, just being level 1, most generals of armies and elite soldiers are just level 1 fighters. You guys are something special in this world, being level 10.
Exactly. Which is why this is nothing.
Well, that's why you're only taking 3 levels of exhaustion rather than it just not being even possible.
All right, guys.
I mean, how about this instead? Because it's just not worth you being exhausted at the bottom. Why don't we climb down as far as we can on our rope? Well, actually, does your mold earth spell require somatic components or material components?
It only somatic.
Okay. It still might be hard to cast it while hanging from a rope.
I got Warcaster.
Right. We can climb down. You can climb down as far as you want. I'm still going to fly. And then I can layer webs along the ground anyway. So I'll try to create an area of webbing that you guys can drop into some area above the ground. Okay. So that you won't smack into the piles of corpses. Now, when the corpses all rise up looking for blood, you'll be hanging above them, trapped in webs.
Well, so there's a tunnel on the opposite side, about 30 feet off the ground, roughly.
I don't know how we get over there.
we may have to leave our rope. But
I'm assuming we're going to have to leave our rope unless we can summon Elmorn's horse and then de-summon it to get the rope to fall.
Yeah. well, actually, not just say that, because if I do the mold earth, for instance, I can mold earth around the rope to hold it in place. It will eventually snap back into place, which would release the rope. It'll just take an hour.
Right, and then
About how long we have. Comes back.
Just enough time for the darkness to come back.
also, I think we'll be on this side and need to get to the other side where the tunnel is.
Quite true.
So somebody would have to kind of be either on the bottom waiting for the rope to fall or hanging from the rope.
Well,
you mean on the bottom with the corpses?
I
Yes.
did say we
Okay,
could,
I volunteer.
Colmar's a frothing of the foaming. Hold on one second, guys. I'll be right back.
So, I mean, the good news is I can cast web 7 times.
the bad news.
That it might not actually prevent all your falling damage. I'm just assuming 5 foot thickness of webbing that can hold something immobile would be enough to cushion the fall.
My light, is it visible now?
Yes.
So you guys should be able to kind of see the side of a stalagmite.
Watch out, Petrie. Don't hit that.
I mean, actually, never mind. I just realized I forgot about Petrie, of course. Petrie can't climb down that much rope.
Well, so that part I'm not too concerned with. Like I said, we can tie a rope around him like as a harness, just lower him down, and then we climb down.
It's even less rope. Less rope for us.
Yeah, a little bit. But perhaps once we're down there, then I can use my mold earth without exhausting myself, because we'll be a lot further down.
So wait a minute. So you're gonna mold the earth to affix the rope to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna tie it around Petrie into a harness. You're gonna lower him down, and he's gonna basically serve as a counterweight to the rope while you guys climb down to meet him, and then use your mold earth
From down there, yeah. Seems like a brilliant plan. I think we could do it. I see nothing that can go wrong.
Mm-mm.
Like I said, it'll be like a harness. So he'll have his arms free. He can pull out his sword and defend himself if something comes at him. He'll be fine.
Right. And
Who's gonna tie this rope?
Somebody
I will.
who's good with ropes.
I am not, but I will do it. There, I might actually be good with ropes. There's no longer a use rope skill.
No, that's
But-
I consider that in survival.
Well, Elmorn then is clearly the master.
Yes, with his beautiful encampment that was never used.
Right.
And still established despite all the storms and everything.
I think Xanathar's suggested using sleight of hand.
For tying rope?
Yeah, for tying knots. Because of the dexterity to do so.
Plus, how hard is it really? We just tie it really tight around his bum leg.
Yeah, that way he's not bleeding out.
Right.
Cutting off circulation.
Right. Worst case, what? He's going to lose the leg?
Yeah.
Probably gonna already.
Right.
So in order, the sleight of hand would work if you're just trying to tie it quickly or trying to tie just a general knot. But if you're trying to create a harness that someone is going to be able to swing from and not, get hanged, that would require survival and maybe even assistance by somebody with medicine to be able to do it accurately and direct them where it's not going to hurt them.
Well, I'm out.
Oh, it's gonna hurt him.
Yeah, I've got a +1
You ever
to
worn a
survival
harness
untrained.
before? You ever worn
What?
a harness?
Right. See, my plan was just to tie a loop for him, and then he could sit in it and like hold on to the rope with one hand.
That's an option, I guess.
Yeah, not an elaborate harness where he can.
All right. What are you saying would be needed here? Because I would totally be smart enough to do it. Tass is like,
Do you
I
have-
see it in my mind.
What skills are you proficient in?
Proficient, Arcana,
Yes.
Athletics, Intimidation, Medicine.
So medicine is sufficient to know how to do it properly.
How
But
about
in terms of actually tying the knots, that
well,
would be
that's
you would
where
need someone to
that's
help
where
with
my
that.
knowledge of land vehicles would be handy. Because I know how to tie the shit off, you know? You got to secure the horses to the carriage. Yep.
Is anyone here a sailor?
Kolmar, Ivar, what proficiencies do you have?
I have lots. I have none of them super useful in tying knots, I don't think. But acrobatics, arcana, deception, history, +11 to investigation. So if I have to investigate knots, I'm super at it. Perception and stealth. And then tinker's tools and forgery tools and thieves' tools and the disguise kit.
Okay. I can't see any help with tying knots with those. What about you, Kolmar?
Yeah, I mean, I've got Arcana, Insight, Investigation, Persuasion, Sleight of Hand, and Stealth.
Okay. Between your sleight of hand and Tony's or Tacitus's medicine, you two working together should be sufficient. So is that what you're doing then? You're tying a harness to Petrie to lower him down?
I mean, that was my original idea. This was my vision. I don't know about you guys.
Look, I can just pretend to tie knots and then use deception to convince Petrie to get in and be lowered down.
Shall we get to work right quick? We only have so much time.
Oh, hold on. I want to just give you guys a little bit more information, 5e.
Hey, Kolmar, how long before the shadows come back? Because they're going to be up here like sawing away at the rope.
They're not corporeal, so how could they saw away at a rope?
Yeah.
All right, so
okay, they may just come down to kill us.
Yeah, that's what they'll do for sure.
all right, so first of all, Tacitus.
Yep.
Roll medicine check to direct Kolmar on how to tie the knots.
Sure. That's probably not going to be enough. Go ahead and action point.
Do you want to use an action point or a luck point?
Action point. I get those back easier.
Kolmar can only tie nooses.
But alrighty. Well, that's unfortunate. So, assuming I get to pick the higher roll.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. At 11. The second roll is a natural 1.
E.
Yeah.
All right. So, you tell Kolmar how to do the tying and how to arrange it and everything. But you lose out on about 25 feet of rope doing it.
It's fine. It's fine, guys.
Now, Colmar, give me a sleight of hand check to see how well you tie these knots.
Am I rolling with disadvantage?
Probably.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Oh, with disadvantage, 18.
Oh, nice.
You know why I took 25 feet? All nooses. It's just an interlocking series of nooses.
Yes.
I'm used to the horse. This is people are proportions differently.
All right. Now that you've got Petrie all set in his harness,
All right.
you have to lower him.
Yep.
And with his armor and everything, he's about 220 pounds.
So I can't really help you with that.
I got it. I still have a 14 strength, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That's
So you're gonna do it yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's no big deal. I mean, I don't have to be gentle about it.
Ordinarily, I would suggest we should probably tie you off to something so that you don't get pulled over the side. But we don't have the rope for it.
Well, I mean, so be it. If I go over, I go over. I got other methods for defending myself.
All right, and then Colmar, your sleight of hand was not just for the harness, but also for putting all the ropes together.
Okay.
All right, Tacitus, give me an athletics check.
Silently, Ivar is taking out his wand of web in case this goes wrong and we're about to lose Tacitus over the side.
Athletics 16
Okay.
would have been a 17 had I not had strength drained on me.
Yeah, and ain't that a shame? So, all right. So you're lowering Petrie down. He's quite uncomfortable. It's quite a jerky process for him, and it's causing you quite a bit of strain. It's really hard to do that. So you get through the first. So you guys have 150 feet of rope total, right?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
So you guys have 125 feet of slack left, probably minus 5 feet, just because you anchored it somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I
assume
I can anchor it right at the top of the wall.
Right, but you can't. I mean,
you've still got to lower it. So you still got to like feed, even if you have the end of it tied off, you've got to feed it.
Yeah. So you guys got.
You could mold Earth though to create like a little loop, and then we'll just tie a knot on the one end that's smaller than the loop of rock you make.
Yes.
So that even if you slip and drop it, he'll only fall until the knot catches in the loop of stone.
Sure. I could do that. It's not a problem.
Yeah, but you're already kind of hands full.
Yeah, so like I just kind
of
take a moment to. Like I only need one hand.
Okay, so give me another strength check to try and do all of that.
Actually, hold on, let me confirm it. I think that's actually just somatic. All right. Yeah, no, it is somatic. So yeah, I would just need a hand with my warcasters, one hand.
Right. But still, I mean, with Warcaster, you don't need any hands. You still have to hold the rope and concentrate while doing this. And you also, I imagine, have to position the rope so that the stone is shaped correctly to catch on the knot, right?
I can just pull it up under the rope.
So, yeah, athletics check.
Oh, yeah, that's not a problem at all. That's a 25.
All right, so describe how that works.
I'm fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger in this motherfucker. Muscles. I don't know. I fucking just imagine some heroic person from a movie.
Okay. So basically, you form the stone around the rope that you're lowering, but you form it more tightly than the knots that are connecting the ropes. So no matter what, Petrie is not gonna fall more than 50 feet, 40 feet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you lose it. All right.
That way he just gets his spine stretched out a little bit if he falls. It's no problem.
Well, hopefully the harness is not all on his spine.
Right. Yeah.
But okay, so you lowered him 40 feet. So now give me another athletics check to see how the next 40 feet go.
Natural 20. 26.
All right. You just lower him the whole way perfectly.
Action fucking hero.
What's everybody else doing while Tacitus is doing this?
Well, I offered my helpful suggestion about the loop, and then I just sat there with my wand, waiting for things to go wrong. Although after 60 feet, I couldn't possibly do anything really to save Petrie at that point, so I would have just been focused on potentially having to save Tacitus.
And Colmar?
Just in awe of Tacitus' ability to lower Petrie and mold Earth.
He could do spells and he's athletic. He's got it.
All right. So you guys have lowered Petrie 120 feet down out of 260 feet tunnel. So you still got 140 feet left once you get down there.
How much do we have left?
140 feet.
It's only 14d6.
All right, let's get moving, yeah? Start climbing down.
All right, so you guys are climbing down the rope.
I'm gonna fly down.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll start first, I guess,
Okay.
in case Colmar falls and I have to try and catch him.
How far across
Okay.
is this pit again? 60 feet?
60 feet. Yeah.
Just a reminder, Colmar, the walls are slippery, so it'll be difficult to keep yourself braced. But
Colmar's used to slippery.
you might actually be at home. But perhaps you should be on the bottom. But yeah, if we're lucky though, we can get ourselves like propped up to where we don't even have to like walk. Our feet will just slip down as we're kind of lowering ourselves.
Is that what you want to try?
That's the goal, but I'm not going to force it.
All right, who's going down first?
Me. Oh yeah, I'm probably not invisible anymore because I had to cast a spell. That's unfortunate.
Your guy is still up though.
Yes. Yeah, the illusion is still there, but I'm not invisible anymore. So there's two of me.
Right.
So where is your illusion now?
I put it at the part where the illusion would pop back up.
Yeah, so it's kind of it's like standing on the wall, looking up at Petrie. Probably, I imagine, pretty much right below him.
I don't even imagine him looking up, just standing there. expression.
Oh, right, but so he's just looking forward, but looking forward for him is looking up.
Oh. I honestly was imagining him just being out in the middle, because like he doesn't have to walk on anything. It just says I can move him however I want. So.
Yeah, but you said you wanted to be creepy about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So like I imagine him like doing like a Wile E. Coyote at first, but then just walking down the middle.
Oh, okay. All right, so give me an athletics check to see how well you climb down.
Yeah. Haven't I proven already that I'm already a action hero?
Yeah, but I imagine you're tired now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to use a luck. Okay, stop it. Yeah, that's better. Much better. I hit my other dice here, but that was a 5. That's no good. 5 plus 6 is not quite enough, I don't imagine, but a 17 plus 6 is probably better.
Yeah, so you begin to go down, and you try to brace yourself against the wall, not believing it could be possibly as slippery as you had at first assumed, but it is, and it catches you off guard, and you fall into the wall, but you're able to recatch yourself, and you're not falling down the rope at least. Your grip remains true, and you're able to carry yourself down to about where just above Petrie. And then Colmar is gone.
I need to
So
go step away for a moment.
yeah.
This might be a good moment for everybody to do that, perhaps.
Yeah, we'll do that. Let's take a quick break.
All right.
Get some water.
I particularly appreciate that particular DVD cover appears to be badly photoshopped. Just like his hand over a black section of rock.
Oh, cliffhanger.
Actually, I take it back. Stallone was a pussy. Because there's a picture of him barely one-arming a girl who's not wearing a full suit of armor.
Well, I mean, of course he's having a hard time. He doesn't even have an actual grip on her. Neither does she. They're not actually holding.
Yeah, I like that picture too for that reason. Like she's just like this. This is how she's holding on for her life.
Stallone is clearly out of action points there. So Colmar,
I think both of them used action points. They said, "Can I just hold on, but without actually wrapping my fingers around anything?" By using action point.
Shit.
All right, so Colmar, you follow Tacitus down the rope, I assume.
Yeah.
So give me an athletics check to see how well you do.
Oh, God. Okay, yeah, that's a 4.
You may want to use an action point there.
I guess so. Okay, 14.
Okay. So you're able to get down. So it's you on top, then Tacitus and Petrie kind of swinging from his harness. And meanwhile, Ivar is kind of flying around. So Ivar, where are you exactly as you're flying?
I assume they have some sort of light. So I'm staying in getting no closer than the outer edges of the dim light part of that, so that I don't lose my flight suddenly.
So they never said about anything about them holding any light. So the only light source that I know of is the one down on the bottom that was cast by Tacitus. So you're well out of the range of any kind of bright light.
So then I still would be afraid that Petrie would be like, "Let me light this candle." So I'd be avoiding him. I'd probably stay about 20 feet away from them, 25 feet, in case somebody casts the light spell for some reason. But when they're sort of closer to where Petrie is, I'm gonna say I'm flying down to that tunnel so that I can take the wand out. I don't actually know how to stop you. I can cast a lot of webs on the ground below you.
Well, I mean, you've got a lot of anchor spots down there against the stalagmite.
Right. So the stalagmite's probably 30 feet away from the side of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do 20-foot cubes. That's what this does. I can layer it along the ground so there'll be 5 feet of webbing between you and the corpses. And I can try to, when I'm in the passageway, I can try to like anchor it between two sections of the wall, like a cord along that circle. But I don't know how far out that's going to come. So you actually might have to actively try to grab the web as you fall past it.
Well, I mean, now that I'm, as soon as I got down towards the end of that rope, I would have, worked mold earth to put some footing below us.
Mm-hmm. So where are you putting that footing? Below you or below Petrie, or
it would be below Petrie. At the rope, right between the no. I kind of imagine it coming gently out and like to where Petrie would end up sitting on it.
Okay. So Petrie is now sitting on this slab of stone that you erected from the tunnel, the side of the tunnel.
Yep. I'm going to do another one right next to it on both sides.
Okay. Give me an athletics check to see how well you can hold on to the rope while you're doing this.
I can hold on so well. I already know it. Uh, 19.
All right, so you're able to hold on pretty well. Better grip than Stallone.
You mean an actual grip?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that way we have like 15 feet here. I can step to one side. Kolmar can step to the other as he works his way down. And I'll just call up to Kolmar. Whenever you get down, start unwrapping him. I'm going to start working on our path down.
Oh, by the way, Petrie does scream in agony as you raise the stone, because I just remembered that the part of his leg that's broken is his femur. And so by creating something for him to sit on, that's just exaggerating that pain for him.
That's why I said gently.
Yeah. I mean, still, though, him sitting is not really an ideal thing.
Neither is standing, so he's got to stop his bitching.
Yeah, but, it's Petrie, so he's not gonna.
It's not going to be any better when we finally do get a long rest, Petrie.
All right, so you guys are lowering yourselves down to the stone then, next to Petrie?
Yeah.
All right. So as both of you do, and I imagine that Tacitus, you're going on one side of Petrie, and Kolmar, you're going on the other side? All right. Both of you give me dexterity saving throws.
No, I did this on purpose so that we didn't have to deal with the slippery.
Yeah, it's still slippery though.
It ejects from it.
Right, but it's covered. It's covered in
out. I'm pulling
So
the insides here.
that is not
even what?
that's not a disadvantage, right? Because it's a saving throw.
Right.
13.
Hey. 16.
Okay. So Tacitus, and this also tells you a little bit about the stone walls and the construction or whatever did this, because even though you intended to eject it so that it's the slippery edge is on the outside and what should be on the inside of the stone is not slick, the stone is for some reason still slick. Now Tacitus, you begin to kind of slip, but you gain your balance. Kolmar, you actually fall prone, but you don't fall off the block.
I was going to say, Petrie, catch him. You're still tied up. In fact, yeah. Petrie, hold on to him. All right.
And as you fall prone like that, you do kind of hit your face a little bit. So you take 1 bludgeoning damage.
And
I
a
like to
permanent
imagine the whole cavern's just made of shale. There's no non-oily part of it.
So what are you guys doing now?
Since it's still slippery. Let's see, what's the range on this again? 30 feet. Okay, cool. All right. So basically, we'll make it kind of a gradual thing. 5 feet at a time. A slight slope, right?
Let's make a slide.
Mm-hmm. But at the 30-foot mark, basically, I'm going to put like a wall so that whenever we slide down, we stop ourselves.
Send Petrie down
How is
first.
that going to work for Petrie?
He'll be fine.
He goes head first and stops himself with his hands. Assuming he doesn't slide off the side.
Listen, I can only control one fucking thing here, and that's the earth. You're the one that tossed him down the fucking hole.
Peter, just give him like a mouthful of peanut butter so he'll be so distracted he won't notice the fall.
Okay, so wait a minute. So you're creating basically a 30-foot slide.
A very gradual one, yeah. Over 30 feet, we're going to drop maybe 5 feet.
Well, that's good.
Perhaps 10.
That's good. You can get around to the other side, sliding your way around.
Yeah.
Ivar looks like he's considering landing.
Every
so that
30
he too
feet, put a little wall, and we're good. This is a brilliant plan. You don't have to fuck with it that much.
Hold on.
Roll a mechanical engineering check.
So
I'm gonna make a ramp all the way down. We got to ramp off at the end.
So every third of the circumference of this tunnel, you're going down 10 feet. So by my calculation, that's 30 feet for every revolution, and you still have 140 feet to go. So that is 4, 5. So that's about 5 revolutions. 30 feet. So that's a lot of casting of mold earth.
Mm-hmm. I could take my time a little bit.
And
actually, why don't we just camp out up here? You could make like a bowl.
It can only last for an hour. As we get further and further down, the ramp's just going to recede back into the wall.
But before we even do this, let's start with that first one. All right. So Tacitus is on the other. You're on one side.
Uh-huh.
Colmar is on the other side. He's currently on the ground nursing a chipped tooth. And Petrie is in between you, still tied to this harness.
Yeah. Yeah. Colmar's probably going to pocket that tooth chip. And you can start untying Petrie. Or leave him there. I don't know. I would suggest untying him. But I'm a little busy.
Colmar, what are you doing? And what about your Wills of the Wisp?
I'm going to keep them fairly close by, and I'm examining my tooth now that it's been damaged, and I've spent many years trying to keep my teeth in pretty good order, considering other injuries I've had. So this is not good.
I'm legitimately sorry I took that away from Colmar.
So how far is it down to the corpses? How far?
240 feet.
To go? Is that how?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how far down you still need to go to get to the ground.
Okay, I'm going to send 2 of the wisps. Tell them to go to the bottom and see if they can locate a corpse that is fairly intact, like arms, legs, head, whatever.
Okay.
Something down there killed one of the wisps.
Didn't attack my illusion though, so.
All right, and then are you helping Petrie at all?
With a big sigh, I guess, yes, before he hurts himself even more, and then we have to even help him out more, so.
Okay, so you untie Petrie. You tied the knots, so you have no problems with untying them. And then Tacitus, you create this 30-foot slide that goes down so that it is basically 10 feet down for 30 feet across, right?
Yeah.
And you create a lip.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
About the size of my foot, so that lip.
Oh, no. Well, okay. So you do it, and you're able to stay down. And then Petrie, kind of following suit, not thinking too much about it because he's like, these guys know what they're doing, and I'm not used to having a broken femur. He goes down and lands on top of you. So one, you take a little bit of damage from him kicking you in the head, basically.
You know what? Fine. I'll just jump down.
3. No. So you take 3 bludgeoning damage, but also Petrie is in extensive pain, and as he does that, he kind of unconsciously or reflexively bucks, which is about to send him over the edge.
Why?
So Colmar, Tacitus, Ivar, you each have an opportunity to react to prevent him from falling over the slide.
See, I've got to keep a grip on the 2 ends of my cloak. So, not actually.
But I thought you were on the other tunnel.
No, I said to them I was going to go to the other tunnel, but then we started talking about this slide thing.
Oh, and so you had to see what that was all about?
I was considering landing so that I could partake of the slide, to be honest. That looked fun. However, now that I see that apparently Petrie is going to fall to his death, a little less fun.
Yeah. I'll grab him. Hold on. I mean, I don't know. It's like I'm sitting there, right? He bumps into me, and then he starts to go over.
Well, he kind of. So what happens is because his leg is in a splint because you put it in a splint, right?
It's in something.
Yeah. So I mean, he's got the stone in there. So one that makes him even heavier. And then he's got that splint on his leg, and so it helps prevent his leg from bending. But you know, he goes down, and even though it's not a whole lot of force, he lands into you, which is like a surge of pain that causes him to like kind of like arch his back, and he kind of bucks his good leg, which is going to send him over the side of the slide.
Right. And then his leg with the splint is like an anchor that's just going to drag him right over the side.
I mean, the positive thing is if he falls, he's not falling onto the stalagmite. Right?
Petrie will find a way.
Yeah, I mean, if I think that it is safe enough to be able to grab him without me also
You don't have time
over,
to think. You don't have time to think about that.
Yeah, huh?
He's like Sherlock Holmes in the boxing match. Like time slows down while he analyzes with his keen mind.
That's right. That's right. I'm fucking Sherlock Holmes.
Tacitus and Colmar, actually roll me an initiative check and see which one of you can act first.
Oh, please don't let me go first.
And I am, because this is time sensitive, I am actually going to count to 20, and you'll have until 20 to do an action. And if you don't declare an action by 20, then it's a dead action.
24. That was a natural 20. So.
Oh yeah, you're going before me.
All right.
So Tacitus.
He's going to get
1,000.
But I'm
2,
sure it's fine. I'm going to cast
1,000.
Lure on him.
Lightning lure?
Yeah, it pulls things towards me.
Yeah, that's okay. So normally that's a strength check. He's gonna just automatically fail it. So roll your damage.
Sure.
And it lights the greasy slide on fire.
One time I roll well for damage. Fuck me. Yeah, it's 13 lightning damage. Hopefully he was healed up a little bit.
A little.
No, 13.
He's at 35 hit points right now.
He's fine. We'll pull him back up.
Yeah. All right. So that gets him back on. And then once that happens and he settles for a minute, he's just gonna be like, and then he's gonna look at you and he's gonna go, "Ow!"
You're supposed to pay attention and go down, not hit people and hit your leg. What are you, an idiot?
How was I supposed to do that with the slide?
I did it.
Yeah, but your leg isn't all in a sling and got a stone in it.
I'm missing the accent, man. Come on now.
I can't do Australian. I don't know. There are little bits where I'm trying and it's failing, so I'm just gonna stop. Colmar and Ivar, how do you react to this?
Well, I count my lucky stars that I wasn't flying close enough for the flash of lightning to knock me out of the sky.
Only for a brief second. Hey, at least it didn't make a loud, thundering noise this time, huh?
That is true. The loud, thundering noise comes from Petrie screaming. I guess I'll fly over to that tunnel, see what's in there. Maybe there's like an elevator or something that will help us out.
See if you can turn this damn grease off.
So I'm going to fly down to the tunnel mouth.
Okay. So the tunnel is in complete darkness, but you have dark vision, so that's fine. And it seems to go forward about 60 feet, and then there's
my
dead
dark vision ends at that point anyway.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this isn't just a dead end tunnel, and we've got to go back. You make a series of stairs going back up. Can I see or make any guess about where that gas might have come from?
Give me an investigation check.
22.
Yeah, I'll send you a email.
Ivar is now wondering if it's occurred to anybody else that whatever, I forget what his name was suddenly, Zalshox really didn't have any reason to create a way out. He was surprised we got it. So we may be exploring this whole demi-plane he's created, but there's actually no way out in it.
Until I can level up and get some teleportation.
Right.
And
just
hopefully
need to
the
keep-
dimensional anchors he talked about aren't actually real or functional.
We just have to, like, keep killing shadows until you can cast plane shift.
Just farming it.
It's like the episode of South Park. We just need to kill enough boars. What about you, Kolmar? How do you react to all this stuff going on around you?
Well, so does Tacitus now have Petrie?
Yeah.
Yes.
How far of a drop is it from the end point of where these stones are?
To the closest?
From where you are, or from where Tacitus and Petrie are?
Where Tacitus and Petrie are.
That's 230 or 130 feet.
Okay.
Because it's a 30-foot slide, but it only goes down about 10 feet because of the low gradient.
To prevent shit like what just happened.
And it still didn't. So maybe do just 5 feet down every 15 or every 30 feet you go. Even shallower slide.
Or just make it extreme and let's get moving, huh?
Petrie making things harder even when he's not really here.
What we need is somebody to fucking fix his gimp leg. That's it. Then we don't have to deal with this bullshit.
I can fix
it. Could you please? He consents.
I was like, I can fix it. I just got to kill him first.
He'll come back, sort of. See,
by the way, Colmar, you noticed.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, by the way, Colmar, you noticed that 2 of your Wills of the Wisp seem to be circling around a single spot. So hopefully they found a good one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But as a player,
Sorry,
I'm wondering what Colmar actually, what his plans are. No, Ivar doesn't really know that he's like constantly gauging the distance towards to the bodies. But Kurt is wondering what the plan is. like maybe like ready in action to cast Animate Dead and then just jump and yell, "Catch me!" So
catch me with your big strong arms.
And hope it's not like skeletons that got animated.
Or somebody with no arms.
So for now, Ivar is just going to look back up in the direction of these people. I don't know. They're pretty far away from me now because I had to fly down. And like, I assume I can see the dim light from the Will-o'-the-Wisp moving. But otherwise, I don't think I can see them.
Yeah, very vaguely, because Colmar still has a Will-o'-the-Wisp next to him. So you can pick him out, and you can kind of follow what's going on with Tacitus and Petrie, but it's really hard to see. Since they are about 100 feet up from where you are. So, Colmar and Tacitus, what are you guys doing now?
Keep going.
You're going to keep making slides?
It's worked so well.
How are you doing it?
What else we got? We got nothing.
Stairs would be even worse for Petrie because he's hobbling along with a stick.
Yeah.
So you don't want slippery stairs.
Yeah. I thought the slope would be easiest for me. You could just kind of gently slide down. Since he obviously couldn't do fucking stairs. It's too slick to carry him down the stairs.
So you do know, just because you can't... Give me a medicine check.
21.
All right. So based on the way that he's positioned, the way that this slide is going, and the fact that Colmar is likely to follow behind at some point, you can't really think of a way to position his leg where it's not going to be causing him agony and probably even worsening the injury.
He can't
because
slide
even though it's a slight impact, it's still an impact that's high enough to cause pain and, you know, potentially mess with all that stuff going on. Plus, I mean, his wound is really being held together by a stone portion of stalagmite.
Okay, is there a better option? Would hobbling down the stairs be more comfortable for him?
I'm not saying it is or isn't, but I'm just like giving you guys that so you can try to problem solve it out or keep going and see what happens.
I say flip him on his back, cross his legs, and tell him to go down hands first. At least he'll land on his arms and not on his leg.
Yeah. Yeah, head first.
Right, guys, 1 second. 1 second.
I feel like there's a simple solution to this that Mike thought of. that we've completely missed.
We're not getting it.
Okay, so here's Tacitus. You would know this problem immediately. While it would be nice to send him down first for the next portion of the slide, the fact is that it's going to be beyond your range to do any more, and you will have to slide down after him, and will then land into his leg.
This kick is, put one leg off to the side. He's going to go down. He can go down spread eagle.
He can't move that leg, though.
Oh, well, I can move it for him. Hey,
Nobody's looking.
Put your wife on the line. She's a nurse. We can ask her.
Lisa, they want to talk to you. Come here. Come here.
Hello.
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 He's given us a dilemma.
What's the dilemma?
Is
it butt stuff?
No.
That's a common dilemma.
We have a character with a bum leg. And we have to.
Who has a character with a bum leg?
Well, he's not here at the moment.
It's Australian.
Oh, he has a bum leg?
Yeah.
Did you cut it off?
No, he shattered his femur.
But we have to get him down a hole. It's like 100 some odd feet.
Do you have rope?
Not anymore. Not enough rope.
Yeah. We used all of our rope to get him the first 150 feet down. We now have like 130 feet to go.
You're on your own for that one.
Well, we can create slides or stairs, but he can't really walk well on the femur, even though it's splinted. So we've been sliding him down these slides. But Mike is saying it's not good for the leg. Slide.
But obviously, stairs that are also slippery would not be very good either. So tell him that he's being unreasonable right now.
You might be being unreasonable.
Am I?
You might be. But you might not be. So I don't know.
I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you for the advice.
Get more rope. Got it.
Well, she's an obvious plan.
Look, nobody's really watching you super closely right now. So if people slide off the edge, we would just have to tell Brendan his character died. He's got 35 hit points. He'll be unconscious at the bottom.
Yeah. Hey, Petrie, what fucking abilities do you have to help us out?
All right, let me check.
Death is only temporary.
He does not have regeneration, unfortunately. That would have solved a lot of our problems.
Right.
Yeah. Petrie spelled defense wrong.
Did he spell it?
Or Brendan.
Did he spell it Australian?
His defense fighting style is DEFENCE defense. Okay, let's see. He's got Actually, he has one thing that could help.
Feel free to share.
Who knew?
Yeah. You just go down there now.
He's got Death Ward.
That'll be handy. Yeah, Death Ward him and fucking toss him over. Perfect.
You won't even feel it. He'll be dead. All the pain. Then he'll come back. Fine. So, like I said, just let him cast that before you push him over the edge. You know, I'm assuming that whatever killed the will-o'-the-wisp isn't there anymore. It's busy eating the will-o'-the-wisp.
Hi.
What?
Did she get her food?
Yeah. Okay, so Death Ward. All right, so he is going to cast Death Ward on himself. So he is out of 4th level spells.
Join the fucking club.
And he will push himself off and say, I don't know, what should he say?
Land on your head first.
He's going to say that?
No, I said that.
I think he probably would say, like, he would try to think of last words, but he'd do it as he's falling over, and he would say, "What should I say?"
Up yours, Flamekeeper Stinson.
Watch
So
this.
he begins glowing with a faint aura of silver fire that spreads over the entirety of his body, and then he flips himself over the ledge of the slide.
Can I
And
just
you see
suggest
him
he might well, before he goes over the edge, light up his flaming sword so that he can fall like a meteor to the corpses below.
Yes, as he's falling, he lights up his sword. And this just ridiculously bright light just shoots down towards the corpses below.
I like to imagine that he didn't tell us that he was doing this. He just cast it, and we're like, "What the fuck, dude?"
So he lands with a thud. His splint is broken.
I must say, Petrie, no.
So his splint breaks in the fall, but he lands on his back, and he lands on this like bunch of corpses, and the silver flame glow that covers him like consolidates into his chest and then disappears into his chest, and then after that he goes and then he looks around, and then he kind of raises a thumbs up at you guys and is like, "I'm okay."
What a goddamn idiot. Well, I guess we can go down faster. What do you think? 15 feet? 15 feet at a time?
Now I'm just watching Petrie waiting to see if any of the corpses come after him.
Tacitus,
yep.
It's still going to be taxing for you if you just continue to create these slides. It's going to be less taxing because you've gotten half the way. So it's going to cause 1 level of exhaustion unless you want to use an action point.
It's fine because we're going to long rest when we get down there.
We were guaranteed a long rest when we got down there. Pretty sure that's what I heard.
But just in fucking case, yeah, I'll use my last action point. I was gonna say, I was gonna use it to affect a bigger area with my spell so that it didn't tax me so much. But however you want to flavor it.
Hey, it's your spell. Whatever. Is that really the Australian way to say defense?
To spell it, yeah, it's the British English spelling.
Yeah.
Americans simplified a bunch of spellings, like when we drop the U in color, but the rest of the world doesn't do that.
And armor.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
you should write it the American way on a sheet, anyways.
Yeah. D&D was invented here in America.
Yeah, damn it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Wait a minute.
Because America.
I love his description of it. Oh, I'm gonna do it a capital S, by the way. His description for it is apply to self. That's it. All right. So,
by the way, we have to figure out a way for Petrie to get up to the tunnel because it's 30 feet up, right?
Yeah.
He could.
He's got spider climb.
That motherfucker. Motherfucker can walk up some steps. Okay.
His splint broke.
I don't care.
It did break.
I'm done with his ass.
Look, we're just gonna have to sever the leg. You're gonna have to lose the leg and crawl.
And cauterize it.
Let me reanimate it.
All right. So, Tacitus and Colmar, describe how you guys are coming down.
Well, so now I'm like I'm picturing like a little bit steeper, and then like a couple, and then like a block of flat with a lip, so then we can just hop over and start sliding down the next leg of it.
Mm-hmm.
When going down.
I mean, or like once it's ready, you could just remove the lip.
I mean, yeah, it could be part of it, I guess.
I mean, unless you want to do dexterity saving throws to get over it.
Well, I'm not making it that big.
Yeah, but it's real slippery. And you never mentioned anything about a side lip.
Well, I mean, I can like tilt the ramp to where we're like. Or how about, perhaps it would be really great if it can make the action point to where it's just one continuous slide and we're just
going faster.
That's fine.
And then like just and then level it out towards the end of it. You know,
right.
like Iceman from X-Men.
Yep.
I assume after waking up, Petrie immediately decided to play dead.
Probably.
He's actually kind of looking around. Ivar, are you looking at him?
Yeah.
Give me an insight check.
Oh, that wasn't good. I'm going to use an action point. 20.
He looks like he's looking in two different places, and you begin to see a bead of sweat from his concerned face.
What are the two places he seems to be looking at?
So opposite sides of the tunnel. So if the entrance from where you guys came is on this side, and Ivar, you are on this side, it's on these two sides.
And I don't see anything there. I assume his sword is still lit up. I don't know why I would turn it off.
It is. Give me investigation check.
That's a 30.
Okay. I'm gonna send you an email.
I'm sure Peter will be fine. I mean, open compound fracture in the middle of a corpse pile, but otherwise fine.
Mm-hmm. Nothing he can't handle.
He's a paladin, right? Is he immune to disease?
Yeah. I don't think he's at that level yet, but yeah.
I'm not even sure he's actually a paladin as opposed to what he just calls himself.
Okay. So Colmar and Tacitus, you guys slide all the way down to the ground, landing in a bunch of corpses.
Oh, for the message cantrip.
Nice.
Wait, were they sliding all the way to the bottom or to the tunnel where I'm at?
I figured to the tunnel, but...
Oh. To the tunnel?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to get Petrie?
He had to climb or something. Petrie didn't really consult us for the whole plan before he threw himself over the edge there.
I will slide it. I will slide our tunnel past the tunnel. Put our slide past the tunnel, but like keep it going down to the ground.
Oh, well then as they slide past, I'm going to say not super loud, like not screaming it out, but loud enough that I'm hoping they might be able to hear me. There are shadows about to attack Petrie.
How long did it take us to fucking get down here?
The rope job probably was about... It was about 15 minutes to get Petrie down. Probably another 15 minutes for you guys to climb down. And then probably another 20 minutes to do all the slidey stuff. So you're just about coming up on an hour.
Okay. Can I get the sense on whether or not that that magical darkness bit goes all the way down?
Oh, it definitely does.
Okay, cool, fine.
Because once you completed the dispel magic, that the source of the magic is the entirety of that stalagmite.
Oh, okay. So we got to destroy this stalagmite. Got it.
How far away are the shadows from Ivar?
Well, they're 30 foot down and 30 feet to the right and left.
And they've clearly, I think they've definitely taken a bead on Petrie.
No, not yet.
Okay. Then I'm going to draw out my bow, but I'm not going to fire yet.
Okay.
Can I see these now, or yeah?
Now,
No,
wait a minute.
wow.
Are you guys on the ground, or are you guys with Ivar?
I mean, I was gonna make it to the ground, but when he said that, I would attempt to stop there where he's at, and just to see if I can see anything as well.
Okay, so the way that I remember you describing it is it went all the way down, right? So you use your action point to just make it all the way down.
To make a slide, yeah, pretty much all the way down.
So give me a caster check to see if you can react quickly enough to stop it relatively close to Ivar, or if it's going to be a bit farther away.
That's a 10.
All right, so you do another full revolution. So before you're no half a revolution. So you're about 15 feet off the ground, but you're on the other side of the tunnel from Ivar, and Petrie is just below you. And the stalagmite is in your way of line of sight from Ivar.
Say that again, sorry.
So you are on the other side of Ivar, on the other side of the tunnel from Ivar. The stalagmite is blocking line of sight between you and Ivar. Petrie is directly below you, and you're about 15 feet from the base.
See, I didn't realize the height of the stalagmite. I assume Ivar actually can't see Petrie directly because the stalagmite's in the way.
Yeah.
Petrie is a little bit off to the side because
He bounced.
the no, but he's actually on the I misspoke with Petrie because of where the what am I saying? The slide went, because the slide went to from where it was across from the tunnel. It went like kind of a third of the way around, and so Petrie fell off around there. So really, Ivar, you are on the opposite side of the tunnel from the tunnel that you came from. You see Petrie down towards your right, looking out the tunnel. Tacitus and Colmar are on the other side of the stalagmite and outside of your vision. And you can see some shadows right around on the other side of the tunnel from you, on the ground. So kind of not next to Petrie, but under Tacitus and Colmar. And then when you look down, because you followed Petrie's gaze, you also see a couple of shadows directly underneath you.
So I'm just going to sit here and muse. How did they miss the giant flaming sword? I mean, maybe they're waiting for a trigger before they go and kill him.
I'm gonna bring my illusory self all the way down and park it like against the other side, not like where Ivar would be, obviously not where we are, so like a side that's not going to be in our path, but again, down on the ground essentially.
So if you are here, Ivar is here, Petrie is my face. You want your illusory self on this side?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then
And what is it doing?
he's going to call out to the shades. It's like, what, were your parents banshees or something? Oh.
Okay. You see... Oh, that's not good. 6. 6 shadows begin to envelop that illusory image of yours.
Oh, yeah, he's dodging. Oh, whoa, 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 you can't touch me. You can't touch me. And then, fuck it, I don't know what the hell we're going to do with this fucking bum leg motherfucker.
We'll throw a rope there. No.
I can lightning lure him. No, he's got 1 HP.
Right.
Oh, my God.
I mean, he's got a whole bunch of vitality points.
Oh.
Am I down at the bottom?
With just a reminder, with the vitality points, once you reach 0, you're dead. There's no saving throws or death saves. 0 vitality points is 0 life.
Sure.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Well, he's only got the 1 HP, right? And wait, once the regular hit points drop to 0.
No, once their vitality points drop to 0.
Well, like
he's probably got a ton of those.
there's no over damage, right? Overkill.
Right.
So I could lightning lure him. It'd be fine.
But where are you going to lightning lure him to? You're still 15 feet above him, and lightning lure at 10
15
foot?
foot. It's 15
Oh, okay,
foot.
but still, but it only pulls him 10 feet.
Oh, fuck, it does. Son of a bitch. I
know that well because Soul Wrench used lightning lure to 0 effect in every instance that he ever tried to use it.
Do it anyway.
Yeah. Go here. Drop you 10 feet.
He'll take no vitality damage from the lightning lure. The fall damage is going to...
I'd have to hang off the goddamn end of the thing.
And you'd have to Stallone one arm while holding on his arm.
Well, hanging onto a slippery ass fucking. All right. 15 foot down, you said?
Yeah. Colmar, you notice that the wills of the wisp that you directed are not, they're almost directly below you. And it seems like a rather large and fresh corpse.
Jump down.
Probably about 8 to 9 feet tall. A big dude, still with most of his flesh.
Yeah, I jumped down.
Okay.
I was gonna make it some steps, but
this is a good idea anyway, because now the big zombie can lift up.
Yeah.
All right, you take 2 damage.
Oh, it's well worth it.
Maybe he can pick up Petrie.
Right,
carry him over.
And Colmar, give me a dexterity save to see if you land prone.
I want the giant zombie to do a layup with Petrie onto the slide.
Natural 20.
Oh, you land with such pizzazz, like so much pizzazz that you don't even take any damage. You're just like you just find the perfect footing. Your feet sink into soft flesh. It absorbs the impact. You do the tuck and roll, but then you also make it like you come into a little bit of an acrobatic flourish, and you pop up and you're like, ah.
And even the Russian judge has to acknowledge that. So screw you, buddy.
Yes.
Okay, so what's this corpse?
It looks to be a minotaur.
Okay. So I'm going to try to raise him up.
Are you using animate dead?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1 second.
Ivar is legitimately surprised and touched that Colmar would jump down to save Petrie.
Ivar is sadly mistaken.
Suddenly, there's a minotaur rising from the corpses. Like, oh,
That's why
No,
I'm,
right.
I'm laughing
Like I
so
said,
hard.
Raising the Minotaur, he's got to get Petrie up 15 feet.
bring him over to the fucking hole where you are.
Well, but the Minotaur presumably can't get him up 30 feet where I am.
Oh yeah, sure.
But if he's tall,
All right,
15
so-
feet, I'm possible.
All right.
So Colmar, animate dead usually maxes out at a medium or small humanoid. If you have 2 action points to spend, you can raise the Minotaur as a zombie or a skeleton.
Okay. Done and done.
Zombie or skeleton?
Me, the player, don't really know the difference. I would assume Colmar, the necromancer, would know the difference.
One is just easier for me than the other, because there is actually a Minotaur skeleton in the monster manual, and you can just use those stats. Hold on. Let's see.
Do I know if the Minotaur zombie is faster than Petrie with his bum leg?
One second.
Anything's faster than Petrie with the bum
Yeah.
leg. In general, skeletons are faster than zombies.
Oh, this is taking forever to load.
Let's see here. Zombie.
I mean, you could just give it the stats of an ogre zombie and be done with it.
Yeah.
Well, I actually found something on D&D Beyond. It looks sufficient, so we'll use this. Yeah. So
Zombies are a little harder to kill, so they have that.
undead fortitude.
Yeah, skeletons are more nimble and smarter.
All right. You guys have a preference?
I don't know what you intend to do with it, so it doesn't matter to me.
I see you down there. I just figure, okay, so he's gonna get Petrie. I'm gonna start bringing this this platform. The thing that we're at that he just jumped from? Do I expect it to be about the same level as the tunnel out of here? From where I'm
at the same
Oh,
level.
we're about 15 feet up, aren't we? The tunnel's
You're
about
15
30
feet below the tunnel.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I'm gonna start bringing it closer.
Give me an intelligence check.
Sure. 18 plus 4.
Okay. So what you've noticed is that most of the architecture here is based on 30-foot or 60-foot increments. The only exception being the 80 feet that the tunnel rose up that one tunnel that you guys went into with the pillar. But even then, the trap went down 60 feet. So, lots of similar metrics being used throughout the architecture of this place.
Got it. So, not only did Zalshox like to hear himself talk, he was not very original either.
I'll go with zombie.
Okay. So you raise that zombie. And then, so what is it that the casting time is 1 minute? Do you want to use that full minute, or do you want to bring it to a 1 action casting time with another action point?
Well, if I know those shadows and shit are down here, I'll probably have to use an action point. I don't want to hang around down here.
How distracted are they by my illusion?
Give me a perception check.
Trying to help. Perception. Ooh. I don't see shit. That's a natural one.
It's hard to tell. They're just kind of flowing all over the place, and sometimes their attention seems to be towards you, or towards Petrie, or towards Colmar, or Ivar. I mean, they're looking in all directions, but also it's hard to see where exactly their faces are because they're two-dimensional darkness creatures.
Mm-hmm. They're moving, presumably.
Yeah, and they're swirling around the illusory image of you and flowing through it a lot.
Okay. Well, I mean, that seems fine to me. I'm gonna, while I don't know what he's gonna do, but I'm gonna start trying to make my no longer slide, just level for a little while to get towards the other side, and then steps up to the tunnel.
Steps. Okay. So you're trying to get to the tunnel?
Basically it's going to be like a level platform now. Yeah.
All right. As you're climbing the stairs, it's still slick. So give me a dexterity save.
I don't wanna. 12.
You want to use a luck point?
Not really. I only got the one left.
All
I
right.
might need it.
I mean, it's up to you if you want it or not.
I say go with Honor's instinct on this. He's always got something worse that he's waiting to spring on you.
Exactly. So I was trying not to use so many fucking spells to get down here. I'm way more depleted than I was when we fucking started. We're getting in this goddamn tunnel. We're gonna fucking rest. But just in case we don't get to rest, I'm gonna save the fucking luck. I can take a little damage. It'll be fine.
All right. So you get about 5 feet up the stairs, and then you slip, and you fall, down off the stairs.
Shouldn't be off the stairs. Should be down.
It is
into the wall.
Well, no, because Colmar, his save was a 13, which was the cutoff point to just be prone when this happened. So you missed that cutoff point by 1. So you're not quite 30 feet up, but you still take 8 damage as you fall to the main level.
8. Jesus fucking Christ. That's more than a D6.
Yeah, because it's 2d6 because you're about 20 feet up. You were 15 foot, you kept it level, you went 5 feet up, and then you came down.
I need to work on my dexterity, man. All right. Well, start moving over to this fucking Minotaur.
All right, so as you move over to the Minotaur, you catch Petrie, and he's looking at you, and he's like, "What's going on? What's going on?"
Shut the fuck up. Shush. Hey. Look over to Colmar. Has the thing been risen?
Yeah.
Thing big enough for us to climb on?
It's about 9 feet tall.
Mind if we borrow your friend here?
Oh, okay, yes.
Appreciate it.
All right, so what are you guys doing?
I'm considering a new career.
Fuck this McCormick's Folly, right? They don't even offer health insurance.
Assistant to Zal Shocks.
And if any company ever needed health insurance.
Is there anything else interesting in these corpses?
I mean, there's a whole lot of them, and they're all kinds of different creatures. All of
This
them
is like
seem
Christmas morning.
Yeah, all of them seem to be humanoid or monstrous humanoid, or even some giant humanoid.
Okay.
But yeah, all of them share the characteristics of being bipedal. 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head. Same general body plan.
Is there any that have decent, let's say, right legs that look to be in pretty good shape?
Give me an investigation check.
18.
Was that with disadvantage?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
When
Yeah,
it
you
comes
can
to
see a
bodies,
couple.
this motherfucker.
You can see a couple.
Would it fit a 5, 6, somebody maybe Petrie's height?
At least one of them is about Petrie's height.
Oh, this is perfect. Okay, yeah. I'm going to take that one. I'll hack it off and take it.
All right. So what are you going to hack it off with?
I got to have some kind of sharp object in my...
Have your Minotaur just ripped the leg off.
Please tell me it's a dagger. Oh my god, I love it.
I'm just picturing Colmar like over there, looking at Petrie's leg, just like, yeah, it's about right.
Can I use my firebolt and firebolt it so I cauterize it at the same time?
Well, the dead leg or
No, you wouldn't be able to use firebolt like that. Not without an action point, and I don't think you have any more.
Oh, blasted action points. Okay, let's look what kind of gear I got here. I gotta have some kind of. Oh yeah, no, it says daggers. So yeah, I gotta have a dagger in here. Yeah, dagger.
Ivar is now afraid that Kolmar has just gotten distracted.
Yeah, because he sees Kolmar pull out a dagger and begin cutting at this corpse's leg.
And I'm far enough
he's going to be here for about an hour.
An hour?
I'm far enough away that I'm not even sure it's a leg. I just see him hacking at somebody's crotch. I don't know what Kolmar's into.
It says I have a battle axe, but I don't know how that ended up on my inventory.
I mean, you are a dwarf, right?
Yeah, I guess if I still got it.
I mean, yeah, you can use battle axe.
That would probably it. Yeah.
Is that wait, is that Seabeard's?
No, his was a warhammer.
Okay.
I was just like, Kolmar, what are you doing? We gotta get out of here.
Planning for the inevitable.
What does that mean?
As I take a big swing, try to hack off this leg.
You're gonna make so much noise. Just use your fucking big guy to rip the leg off.
I'm waiting for him to hack off Petrie's leg.
And then have your big guy put us up on the shelf.
Having flashbacks to my game where somebody mangled a leg and they tried to graft on a freshly killed horse's leg.
I remembered. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah. In a Conan themed game, this is what they were trying to do.
So I'm going to use the battle axe, see if I can hack this thing off. I'm obviously not going to, spend an hour doing it, but if I can get a couple swings, I have the will-o'-the-wisp just kind of floating near me in case any of those shadows come by, and then have the Minotaur move over and pick up Limpy there and move him up to where Ivar is.
All right, so you said a lot. Let's start with the leg. Give me an attack roll and damage roll.
Okay, I don't know. I don't have stats for battle axe.
1d8.
1d8, man, they're cutting them down.
Or d10 if you're using it two-handed.
Oh yeah. Roll at the same time. So that'd be 8 damage. I rolled 17 plus 0.
Okay.
I guess if I'm proficient, it would be plus whatever.
You are proficient. You're a dwarf.
I wouldn't make that racial assumption.
Most dwarves get by fault.
All right, you get about halfway through it in that one thwack.
I just look back over. What are you doing? This whole place is gonna go dark in a matter of minutes, if that.
And then, what is it that your Minotaur is doing, Petrie? Exactly.
I'll just have him go near Tacitus and tell him to help them get up to the tunnel.
Gonna put us.
All right. So Tacitus,
put us up on the ledge.
I did mention that zombies were not the more intelligent of the two between skeleton and zombie. I'm not sure just telling it to help is It's gonna be within what a zombie knows what to do with.
He doesn't know the help action. What are you saying?
I mean, you can give him something specific that would be helpful.
Right. What I'm assuming is the zombie heard you say go next to Tacitus, and it went next to Tacitus, and then you told Tacitus to, hey, bring these guys up. And so Tacitus, what are you doing in response to Colmar?
You gotta tell it to pick Petrie up.
Oh, it did. It already picked him up. It's carrying him in his arms. Petrie seems quite comfortable.
And you gotta lay him up on the shelf here.
So where do we?
The Minotaur looks at Tacitus blankly.
I just start climbing the Minotaur. Just like fucking get up onto it and like hop up.
Give me an athletics check.
We have already established that I don't fail. No, I'm gonna fucking fail right now.
That's why you got that luck point.
I don't. I'm good. I am totally good. I got a 25.
All right, you're fine. You get up wherever you want to get up.
Get up onto the shelf from the Minotaur's back.
Well, you get up on the Minotaur's back, and he's 9 feet tall, and the shelf is 15 feet tall. So you could probably reach the shelf, but it's slippery, so you're going to need another athletics check to try and get up. But it's not near the shelf, so first you need to talk to Colmar and say, hey, direct this dumb thing over to the shelf.
He says, perched on its back, balancing.
Come on. Get the leg later.
So do I have one more attack roll to get this leg up?
Well, first of all, are you directing your zombie to do anything else?
Yeah. Tell him to walk over to the shelf.
Okay. He walks over to the shelf. And then you take your next swing.
15, 9 damage.
Okay. Leg comes off. Ivar. And then Tacitus.
Yeah.
Give me an athletics check to see if you get up on the shelf.
18.
All right. You're able to get up on the shelf.
All right. Let's see if I can. Colmar, tell him to lift Petrie up so I can grab him.
Okay. I tell him to lift Petrie up.
Kurt, did you get my message?
I didn't say a message.
And then you gotta get the hell out of there.
So now I got your message. How far away are like the nearest ones from them? Actually, the 6 that were like swarming around the illusion, is that all of them? Like, did they come from under me and from the other side? Okay, so at least there's that. Not like there's 6 that are still just minding their own business below me.
Right.
But if I see them move in the direction of any of the 3 of them, I will begin firing arrows.
All right. You get to fire. You can make 2 attacks, and then it's time for initiative.
Okay. The first one was a 23. And what is the damage? It's been a while. And I did 11 points of damage.
Hold on 1 second. Let me bring them up.
Second one was a not natural 20.
So 11 points of damage against one, and then another attack against a different shadow.
Same one, 13 points of damage.
All right. So describe how one shadow meets its end.
So as I see the shadows, at least my perception of it is they begin to sort of swirl out towards, I'll say, Colmar. I loose 2 arrows. The first one sort of almost seems to smudge the edge of a shadow, and the second one just causes it to shoot out like an explosion of black cloud, and then it just fizzles away.
All right. Now it's initiative, folks.
I'm still going to die to shadows. I can't believe it. I thought I was safe. I got an 11.
What about Petrie? He can attack from his cradle.
Yeah, I'm gonna do initiative for Petrie because unlike usual times, he's enough in the story that I'll NPC him, even though I hate doing that because it's so much more to run. But whatever. You guys might die without him.
I will be amused to see when Brendan comes back and we're like, oh yeah, you're out of hit points. You're down in vitality now.
So, all right. Initiative order 20. Anyone roll above a 20?
Nope.
19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Shadows. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10.
Petrie.
No.
Oh, not Petrie, Ivar. Ivar is an 11.
Wow, I thought I rolled badly, but I just have like a huge dexterity, but we suck. You're just so tired.
9, 8, 7.
Tacitus on 9.
Colmar's on 4.
4? All right, so then we got Colmar.
What about your Minotaur?
Yeah, sure.
It's going to act on Colmar's turn. And then we got Petrie, who rolled a 2.
Come on, you got to give that Minotaur a chance to get it better than us.
It goes on Petrie's turn, or I mean Colmar's turn. It takes a bonus action in order to direct it. All right, so the shadows. We definitely have one flying up directly at Ivar. And it's got a speed of 40 feet, so it's going to get there. So, Ivar. Oh no. I rolled a natural 20.
Can I use an action point to make him re-roll that?
Yeah.
You've been saving all his action points up for that.
Please do. Yes. Ten
misses.
All right. So you got a shadow right in your face. And then one is coming after well, actually, most of them are probably coming after Colmar because he's just sitting there. He's the one that attracted their attention, really. So you got so 2 of them are coming after Colmar. That's a natural 1.
What about the Will of the Wisp? Do they go on his Colmar's turn?
Yeah, they do. So it's not a critical fail, but it is a fail, so it's a miss. And then the other one, 13.
Megatron.
All right, so Colmar, all the 2 shadows on you miss, and then you got 1 shadow that's kind of attacking Petrie and the Minotaur. But it doesn't recognize. So wait, now let me see. What is its intelligence? 6. So I'm gonna roll. Let's see. So this shadow seems keen on understanding that this Minotaur is not even a living creature, and shadows hate living creatures. So it's gonna go after the thing in its arms, which is Petrie.
That's a stretch.
And Petrie's armor class is a 20, so shit, it misses. And then you got 1 coming up after Tassus. $13.
Nope.
All right. So the shadows are relatively ineffective. So Ivar, you are up. You got a shadow right in your face.
I'm going to fire arrows at it with disadvantage because I cannot suffer the attack of opportunity to move away. Oh, you know what? Fuck that. Yes, I can. Bonus action. I will disengage and move away. I'm a I take 2 shots at him, which is with my bonus 31 and 29.
All right, both hit.
Probably should have sharpshootered one of those, but oh well. That is 14, 21 points of damage.
All right, describe how that one dies.
Similar effect. You see from where you are, you see sort of vague outlines as trails of black smoke come shooting out, blasting out from the entrance to the tunnel. And then I will move back up to the edge of the tunnel.
Okay. Tassus, you're up. Colmar on deck.
All right. So they're no longer like caring about my my illusion right now.
No. And you have 1 right in your face.
Yeah. Just confirming that it was those that attacked us.
Yes.
At least they don't look like us. The ones that drained me look like us.
Yeah, I'll just he's right up on me, so I guess I'll cast lightning lure on him. Let's make a strength save. DC 16.
Okay.
If I come
It
back
failed.
as I come back as a shadow, I am going to attack Petrie first. That will be my thought.
All right, that's 11 lightning damage against it.
All right. So you deal that damage. It doesn't seem particularly effective against the creature. And then also in the kerfluffle, you need to make a dexterity saving throw to remain on your feet since you are on such slippery ground.
Man, I didn't even have to move. It's only verbal.
Yeah, but you're still dodging the shadow unless you want the shadow to have advantage on its next attack against you, because you're just gonna sit still.
No, I got like magical protections though.
What magical protections?
Well, while I'm concentrating on a spell, my AC goes up.
Okay.
So like it's normally an 18. Now it's right now it's a 20. So
Okay. So
I just like steady foot and it's like motherfucker, pff, just bouncing off my magical defense.
Okay, so we can do disadvantage +2 if you want.
Oh, the fuck you want? Dex save?
Yeah.
A 6. Are you happy?
All right, so you fall and you're 15 feet, so you only take d6. So you take 6 damage from bludgeoning damage, and make another dexterity save to see if you land prone or on your feet.
11.
I'll let you land on your feet. It's only 15 feet.
I'm used to it by now. Maintain concentration on my spell.
All right. Colmar, you're up. Petrie on deck, shadows in the hole.
Okay, I'll use my bonus action to disengage
Okay.
and get away from them, and then I turn around and I'm going to blast them with my snowball swarm. Take that, fuckers. So they get to make a dexterity saving throw.
All right. First one, dex is 11. I'm going to assume that's a fail. Second one is a 12. That's a fail, I'm guessing.
Okay, so it's 6 cold damage plus 2d6 for sneak attack, right?
It would be sneak attack if there's another ally next to them.
What about the will-o-wisp?
Okay, yeah, I'll allow that.
Nice. There's 8 more. So 14 total.
Okay. Both look really annoyed.
Good.
So then next is Petrie, because you didn't give your Minotaur a command as a bonus action. Right. So it's just kind of sitting there with holding Petrie in its arms. Yeah. Petrie's got one of these things on him. So let's see, what is he going to do? He's going to cast Guiding Bolt on the one right next to him. And that is a ranged attack, so he'll do the disadvantage, but it's whatever.
It's whatever, it's only a spell slot.
He rolled a natural 20. Let's see what his disadvantage would net him. And a 6. So what's his let's see, what is his attack bonus? It's +7, so 13. So it will hit. So 46 radiant, and they are vulnerable to radiant. So
46 doubled. 92.
yes. So the one that's right next to him just bursts into an effigy of silver flame. So that one's dead. And then it's the Shadow's turn. And then we got one on Tacitus.
He's above me.
Yeah, it's gonna move down to you to get right in your face.
I think you should roll perception. Maybe I just dropped out and he just like, wait, where'd he go?
My recollection, you didn't try to hide. So if you wanted to try to hide amongst the bodies and everything, you might have tried to do that. But
Wouldn't fit in.
all right, so
My rugged good
natural
looks.
20.
Uh-uh.
Roll the natural 20.
I don't think so.
I did.
You touched it. You touched it.
I did touch it, but I touched it to stabilize.
Let's see here. Give me a second. I got
Rolling to confirm. It doesn't confirm, but it's still max damage. So that is, you take 14 necrotic damage, and your strength is reduced by 4.
14 damage.
Yeah, 14 damage and minus 4 strength damage.
Oh, that's on top of my already -2.
Yeah. So your total is -6 strength.
Yeah, which I have a 10. I'm now average strength.
I would have killed me. He'd be fighting Ivar Shadow now. Or Petrie would at least.
Colmar, the shadows that were on you are now heading towards you, so the Wills of the Wisp get attacks of opportunity.
Okay. All right. Look up here. What the hell do they do? Shock. Okay. +4 to hit. So there's the first one. Oh, look, a natural 1.
All right, roll again.
A 2.
All right. That's a critical fail, so roll the D100.
The wisp kills itself.
Yeah.
33.
They start fighting among themselves.
All right, hold on. Let me bring it up. I should have had it loaded already, but I didn't. You said 33?
Mm-hmm.
So attacker stumbles and moves 10 feet, knocked prone, and disarmed. This movement provokes attacks of opportunity. So, I mean, Wills of the Wisp can't be prone or disarmed, but it is knocked 10 feet drunkenly, and then the shadow gets an attack of opportunity on it. Both shadows, actually. So, first one is 13. Does that hit? Second one.
They are hard to hit.
Yeah, they are. All right, so both of them miss, but it just gets knocked away 10 feet.
Okay, so the other 2 attack. Please don't roll a 1. 9.
No.
And an 8.
Shadows are super easy to hit.
So these are attacks of opportunity. They're not actual attacks.
Right.
Okay.
So, but they're moving towards you, and so now that happens, they've closed the distance. They're both right in your face, and so one shadow misses horribly. The other one, 21.
Yeah, that's a hit.
All right, so you take 8 necrotic damage and
That should rejuvenate me.
3 strength damage.
Okay. Sure.
All right. And then Ivar, you're up.
All right, I'm going to use sharpshooter. There's 3 on Colmar.
2.
2. All right, so shot at the first one. It's not that good. That's an 11, which I don't think they're that easy to hit.
I believe actually no. Short 1.
Let me see something though. Okay, I'm going to use my bonus action to curving shot the arrow into the second one because that's an arcane archer thing.
Okay.
And that's a 17.
That hits.
That's 20 points of damage.
All right, so go ahead and describe how that one dies.
So you see an arrow comes, like passes straight through where the vague head portion of this thing is and flies right over Colmar's shoulder. And you just see the thing appears to sort of split and hangs for a second like a shadow, but just cut down the middle and then just fades away. And then I fire my second shot. That's 19.
Hits.
Not as good though. 15 points of damage.
All right, go ahead and describe how that one dies.
This one, I hit it at the bottom, and it appears to almost tumble backward over itself into a little ball, but then disperses.
All right. So Colmar, Ivar has saved you. Tacitus, you're up.
Is this the one left?
Yep. It's
On
the
me.
only one that's left.
All right. Well, I'll take the disadvantage to just firebolt it. You gotta be fucking shitting me. A 10 to hit.
Miss.
All right.
Yeah, anything else?
Nope.
All right. Colmar, you're up.
Tell your zombie to do something.
I'm going to send the Will-O-Wisps to attack the one on Tacitus.
Okay. So they get 3 attacks then.
Oh, okay. That's at 8. Oh, 16.
That one hits.
13 lightning damage.
Okay. Still up.
And that is a 21
A hit.
with 5 more lightning damage. And
All right. It is like very transparent, very dim, but it's still there, clinging to life.
when they move on their movement, they will attempt to move through the the shadow. And if they're able to do that, then it'll take 1d10 force damage.
I thought that would be them that takes it.
Well, okay, I guess I'm reading that wrong.
It's like if they end their turn in something else's space or something.
Okay.
Let's see.
It takes 5.
Yeah, it's the will-o'-the-wisp that will take the force damage.
Yeah, well, I don't. Okay. So if I have an action, I'm going to firebolt him.
All right, firebolt him.
18.
Hit. Don't even worry about rolling. Just describe how it dies.
With the severed leg in one hand, I just blast off a streak of fire, and it just fizzles. Done. And the will-o'-wisps were disappointed because they wanted a chance to finally kill it.
Just look over and it's like, you got your leg? You happy?
Well, I'd like to stay longer and examine more of the bodies, but apparently it's not very safe here. We should probably leave.
Apparently.
Well, now you have your minute. Take your minute and raise more bodies.
Tell your Minotaur to just pile up a bunch of bodies that we can easily climb up.
Yeah, that's what we're going to have to do in order to get up there.
Yeah.
Make a big human body stack and climb the fuck out of here.
There's certainly enough bodies to do that. But before you can do any of that, you notice a glowing orb sort of coming through one of the walls. It's a light blue orb, and as it comes through, it begins to take shape.
I prepare a firebolt.
It takes shape, and this is what you see. Hold on.
I sometimes do have to tell my players that the time it takes me to describe a thing is not the amount of time you have to act. Oh, I thought it was more orby. The orb is really just a gut. This thing's gut.
Yeah. But he also puts his hands up in a gesture, the universal sign of peace and coming without intention to harm.
Don't stab him, Petrie.
Petrie can't even move.
Just tell your zombie to restrain Petrie.
Having very little trust of anything else down here, I still hold, but I won't launch.
And I think with that is good stopping point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to think that what's the guy's name again? Forget his name.
Zalshox.
I like to think he's got like the bird's eye view of all of this. So from his perspective, we went from like here to here. Now, given that we actually didn't really move more than a couple 100 feet, almost all of it down, I had a lot of fun tonight. I thought it was a good session. A lot of it was just our coming up with kooky plans that we never executed because they were stupid.
What were other people's thoughts? Things that they liked, didn't like, would have changed?
I mean, I would say I was sort of on the precipice between feeling like all of our ideas were just like amongst all of our bad ideas, we were being penalized for having yet more bad ideas. Like you realize that won't work because, but at the same time, like I feel like the tension of that, of not having, on one level, sort of knowing that none of these ideas were ideal. I thought that the tension of being frustrated by the reality of our dreadful situation added to the session overall.
Okay.
Just hoping for something to go right.
And things eventually did. I mean, in the end, it was still sort of a zany plan of climbing down, sometimes one-handed on Tacitus's part. Then creating a series of slides, things going wrong.
The trek down was flawless. It was the best and only plan we possibly could have come up with.
That might be true.
And very shortly, everything's going to go very dark, and our rope's going to fall.
Yeah. Although, yeah, I would say next time you think of this plan, remember, like, have the ramp should have like a sort of lip on the side curving up, like a water slide.
So yeah, I definitely don't want people feeling penalized, but also one of the things that I'm trying to do is when I'm creating some of these challenges, I'm thinking kind of logically about the creature that created this place. And I'm trying not to create solutions for you guys because I trust that you guys will create the solution. Because if I create the solution, I tend to have a narrow focus, and then it's like, oh, if you guys don't do this, then it's not going to work.
Right. I think it's fair to say no if an idea seems like a little crazy, but you let us, there has to be a balance between letting us try our bad ideas and giving some benefit of the doubt to it. I mean, I would say if we were, like, I've certainly been in some groups where they would have had no idea what to do. They would have gotten very frustrated and more or less given up because, like, they don't like bad ideas. They want to have some easy answer, something more obvious. And they might assume I wouldn't, but they might assume that there is like one perfect way. And it's not just a question of try all your bad ideas.
Yeah, and I can tell that you guys at one point were getting kind of frustrated, which is why I asked like what spells you guys have to offer some assistance in how you might be able to manage this challenge.
I would say, thinking about it logically, I was surprised that the walls were slippery, because how would Zalshox have anticipated that people would come with permanent spider climb? So that was sort of the easy way for everybody to get down, except for Petrie.
That is a good point.
Would have been how do we get Petrie down? We can get down. How do we get Petrie down?
Then
we could get down.
Right. There is a very real risk that if the walls weren't slippery, we'd have been like, sorry, Petrie. We don't have a single good idea for how to get you down. You would have had to come up with the death ward idea and have him throw himself off. Although oddly, that would have worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that he had that spell memorized.
Probably not his intended use for it.
Yeah. I try not to do things that will use people's resources or anything when they're not here, but Petrie was kind of a key element to the challenge that I didn't want to just go away because he's not here. But
it still would have been a fucking challenge because the goddamn walls were slippery.
And I really cannot wait for you guys to meet Zalshax because I really believe everything will become so much more clear when you do.
You expect that we're gonna let him talk?
Oh no, no! It's not even gonna matter. You're gonna see him, and it will be so clear.
But we might wind up letting him talk because we're like, I'm down to throw in darts at this guy.
maybe he'll get winded.
Yeah, and I think what is this, like 4 or 5 sessions that you guys have gone without a long rest?
Yeah, no, that's ending.
This is the longest time between long rests.
I cannot go for very much longer.
I just assume it's a Mike thing, like your Warforged hated long rest. Mike hates long rests.
He just has a thing against long rest.
I mean, this part, I'm like, I wanted to purposely create this to see how long you guys. This story arc is almost like an Iron Man challenge of sorts, but
we did not sign up for Iron Man.
But you know what? You guys are close to finishing it, and hopefully the reward.
Like, what if they added to the Iron Man challenge? There were just people lining the route with whips to just keep like scourging you as you go.
Like, all right, I'm done. No, you're not.
That inspires me. You guys are gonna come up to a corridor with a bunch of constructs that are just like.
It's gonna sit in the hallway and start fucking firebolting them.
I mean, actually, the funny thing is, I did take a little bit of damage when the shadows hit me, but when I spent my hit dice, I got those back. So I'm actually at full HP.
I'm at half.
One shadow
Oh man!
In one hit.
Yeah, I got really scared when I rolled that critical hit against you because I'm like,
I mean, that would have been.
Shit. Even if he fails the.
Yeah, I would have basically been dead. If you double the strength damage, then yeah, there's basically
with the criticals, if it's not confirmed, it's just max damage. So it would have been, but you only have 3 strength left, and it would have dealt 4.
Right.
And yeah, so you would have been dead.
You crit on me.
That is why actually, if I hadn't been hit like the first time, if I wasn't down by 3 strength, I might have started firing at them when everybody else was still way high, but I thought Petrie was going to be attacked. But instead, I'm like, let's wait and see. Maybe they won't go after Petrie right away. Because I knew once I start firing, like at least some of them will come my way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like we're gonna set up in this goddamn corridor. And we're just gonna rest.
But the shadows are going to form right behind us.
That's fine. If we die, we die. One of Tacitus's main points is he needs his strength. It's fucking gone. His whole
that is true. If we
gone.
encounter this same challenge again, Tacitus won't be strong enough to pull off some of the things he did.
Get the muscle. Now there's no muscle.
So this is one thing that I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about. Because if somehow you are able to get a long rest in, I personally
somehow.
I'm not gonna make it easy for you guys to get a long rest. You might pull it
easy
off.
yet.
You might pull it off. I'm gonna give you guys the benefit of the doubt that you're creative enough to figure something out, but I'm not gonna make it easy. I'm not gonna be like, oh, there's this side cavern that seems to be completely clear of all enemies, and you can get a full 8 hours and just be like chill. But
you could do that.
Yeah, our new ghost friend who just showed up maybe will direct us to that cavern.
It's possible. It's possible. But with ability damage, I kind of, and this is something that wasn't really ever discussed previously because it never really came up. And once I started like looking into it, I didn't realize after the game had started, and this is like one of the first times I've used an enemy that did ability damage, is with 5E that it's all healed after a long rest. I kind of feel like that cheapens the ability damage a bit, so I can see healing some of it, but not necessarily all of it. And so I just kind of wanted to get your guys' take because I do want to be fair about it. And I don't want you guys to have like different expectations versus what my expectations are.
Technically, the monster manual shadow, it heals after a short or long rest.
Right.
I mean,
so these are already strong shadows.
With how difficult it is just to get a long rest, to not get all of it back would be pretty brutal.
I mean, I would actually, from a story perspective, I would sort of gauge it against, I don't know how much more we have to go. If we have essentially as much in front of us as we had behind us, then giving us back all our strength is not really so bad because we're going to lose it all again as we go. On the other hand, if we're kind of close to the edge, then I can see why you might only give some of it back to sort of keep us on our back heel as we go forward.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, if there's no more shadows ahead, like if that's not going to be a recurring theme, then the strength penalty isn't such a big deal. It's only a big deal, at least to Ivar, because it could kill him very easily. I actually, a question I would wonder about is Will-o'-the-Wisps can kill anybody at 0 hit points instantly. So I don't know. That's, without taking into account vitality points. But the point is, if you're at 0 and a Will-o'-the-Wisp will come at you because they want to consume your life. So wouldn't they be tempted to just kill Petrie right now? Just 1 point of electrical damage and then devour his soul?
So so Kolmar, Ivar, and Tessus, you guys don't know this, but I'm going to say it because I trust you guys not to, metagame or anything like that. But Kolmar, the moment that any of your friends get like 0 hit points, these things are going to want to consume them. The whole reason that they're following you around is because that they believe that you're going to bring them to things that they can consume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's also going to spend all those spell slots he has on inflicting wounds to feed them.
Yes.
They should be getting pretty anxious about that. You haven't done that in a while.
But yeah, you guys, unless, I'm not going to say you're not going to encounter shadows because who knows what you guys are going to decide to do between next session and what I have planned for the end of it. But that's not something I'm anticipating. And you guys are fairly close to the end.
Right. So then,
But you-
I mean, I would the strength, whether we keep or lose the strength penalty, I guess doesn't mean as much without shadows being there.
I mean, it still means a lot to Tastus, who needs his strength. But
I mean, I think that my opinion, I want to give you some of it back, but I don't want to necessarily be like, oh, it's all healed. Like I want it to be kind of like a die roll. Like
yeah,
you'll
that's
recover 1d4, 1d6 strength back
Mhm.
after a long rest.
of course, yeah, we've been
And then-
fighting shadows, so like, it's not like he's using his shadow blade against them.
Mhm.
It seems counterproductive.
I was also curious, like from a metagaming perspective, like how much does Kolmar know about shadows? Like, wouldn't he? Isn't this his area of expertise?
Mm,
Mhm.
Because I remember the first time we were fighting shadows, I didn't say anything because it would have just been nothing but metagaming. But Kolmar tried to like inflict wounds on the shadow, and I was like, "Well, they're immune to that."
yeah, that's me, the player. That's me not knowing that.
Right, but since Kolmar would, it's where I get into one of these things about since Kolmar would know it, should I speak up? And I was like, man, they're just shadows. We'll get through these really quickly. This is before Ivar got hit. Yeah, I did really gloss over the fact that Ivar only had an 8 strength to start with. And there were like lots of these things swarming around us.
Yeah. So that's another thing that I kind of I try to stay away from that, but yeah, you're right. I kind of have that same kind of wonder, when should I step in, when should I not, when should I allow a player to do something, and when should I kind of come in when it doesn't necessarily make sense for the character. And I could have stepped in for that, but I think that that's also when Kolmar Peter, I gave you the ability for Kolmar to have like some kind of ability to interact with them persuasion wise.
Right.
Yeah,
You did do something extra with it, so it didn't necessarily matter. But I mean, like I was wondering also, like, would Kolmar know that they're, I think, resistant to cold, not immune to cold, but they're resistant to a lot of things, and immune to necrotic.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I was like, because I think Peter, Kolmar can't really do many damage types. Like it's kind of limited to cold, necrotic, and maybe poison.
Fire.
I think there is an element they're not resistant to, but I don't remember what it is.
They are vulnerable to radiant, which you guys would know now, especially because Petrie demolished that one shadow with the guided bolt.
I might be misremembering. It's been a little while since I've used them.
No, it does look like I can't think of yeah.
Acid, cold, fire, lightning, thunder, resistant, immune to necrotic and poison. Yeah.
I don't see psychic on here.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's. I think I tried attacking them with my shadow blade originally, which does psychic damage, and I didn't do very much. So.
And
figuring like not very few things are resistant to psychic damage, so that's why I like the spell.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't expect you guys will be fighting any more shadows, but you might. I mean, I can't say what you're gonna do. Brendan comes in and he's all like, "Petrie, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do this, even though it's dumb," and he'll do it.
I think you should have an encounter that is all just shadows and intellect devourers swarming.
yeah, you guys are getting very close to the end, at least as far as I've planned it. So.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're not going to be like, let's go back up. So, there seems to be, although it is a dead end at the end of this tunnel, as near as we can tell, so that may be no choice. I'm going to lay down in the pile of bodies and die.
Is there any way we can polymorph Ivar into a badger and he can do badger time?
I don't have that spell. And you could do force damage against them normally.
Right.
Yeah.
So if only that
Yes,
will of the
magic
wisp
missile.
ability, yeah. If only that will of the wisp ability worked.
I don't have magic missile to prepared.
But once we get a long rest in, which we were guaranteed.
I didn't hear it that way.
Yeah. I prepared ice knife today instead.
Well, when you're talking about the Will-O-Wisp attacking when they have, you're talking about 0 HP or 0 vitality?
Everybody's dead at 0 vitality, so it has to be
Yeah.
HP.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so that's where vitality is kind of a weird in-between ground. It wasn't really, I mean, obviously it wasn't made for 5th edition. It was kind of made as an add-on, and so the monsters weren't made to interact with that particular rule. So I still have to kind of consider how it's going to happen, but definitely once they get to 0 hit points, people are kind of on the verge of death. They're on death's door, and so they would know that instantly, and they would seek that out.
I mean, there's still a saving throw to survive, and it's not like a hard saving throw. It's DC 10. I think it's a DC 10 con save for the Will-O-the-Wisp.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not instant death if they come over and hit you the way a shadow is if you're at 3 strength and they do 4.
I'm so glad you had an action point. So glad.
Yeah, I hoard things like that. Like even when I probably should. Sometimes I'll blow them on relatively minor things.
Yeah, I like
But-
to figure out an elevator.
Right. How many action points next time so I know how many action points just to find an elevator? All right, I have to go to bed. I have to work some tomorrow.
All right.
It's 2 a.m. here almost.
Well, take care, everyone.
All right. Take it easy.
Later.
Later.